It's 2019 NWAP episode 14. New intro alert.
I'm about to say, are we not counting down no more? Like that's how we gonna start? Is that how we starting these?
I just felt like
New year,
singing a song.
New year, new us.
We don't need to count down. We could just get started.
Just get started. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to NWAP Cast. I don't even know what episode it is no more.
14,
episode 14, season 5. I'm the host, moderator, something. Smooth order.
Yay.
I'm Tunde, Talk 7. Also host, moderator, something.
So, don't you niggas?
Lextopia here. Happy New Year. Cheers.
Yes. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a podcast to listen to, but we're really sorry about that. December was like real crazy. Like we actually
we were just like, nah.
So listen, we had an episode recorded, and we were going to talk about what's old boy's name that used to play for the Chiefs.
It's in the thing. I think we'll put it out, but we just won't like publicize it like all that. Like we'll just put it up there.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. We had a really good combo about like Kareem Hunt and domestic violence and like football players and like the NBA and stuff, and then like niggas just went on vacation.
That was my fault. I took too long to try to get to it.
Nobody was around to put the episode up. Like,
I was going too. So
okay, well, to those listening to 14, go back to 13. It's a ghost episode. We ain't talk about it, but we probably could put them both up at the same time. Honestly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in charge of that, so I don't know who's gonna put that.
It's up there.
All right,
Enjoy.
So first of all, welcome to 2019. If you're listening to the podcast, you made it to 2019. Thank you for being here. We're very happy to have you here. 2018 was a motherfucker in a lot of different ways, but it's also really good in some ways for some people. I guess I feel like I've seen a lot of people talking about 2018 being like not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was kind of in that category. It was just like, nothing awesome,
Okay.
So we'll get into it.
Okay. Well, let's start off on the positive note then. Well, let's talk about like your best moment for 2018. Tunde, we'll start with you because we haven't heard from you yet. Me and Lex always do the talking, and then you just be chiming in on the back end.
It's just true. Let's see. I don't think I have one best moment, but I have like
you can share as many as you like.
No.
I have a collection of moments.
Sure.
So should we make you just choose the one since that was the question, or no? We saying we have a collection of moments.
No, my collection of moments is surrounding one theme, though. I guess like I traveled a lot in 2018.
Your weekend Bible studies.
Yeah,
you can do however many moments you want.
Exactly. My weekend Bible studies in 2018. I had a lot of trips. I went like where did I go? I went to Phoenix, LA a couple times, DC, New Orleans, Mexico. I'm sure I'm forgetting somewhere else.
I'm trying to figure out where you be getting travel money from, dog, because you live in fucking Portland.
I live in Seattle now.
Whatever, nigga. You don't live in no place where flying.
I would ask him that too, but at the same time, I don't be having no money either. But somehow,
so
you just get there.
You make a way.
Y'all niggas, I like how y'all niggas be making a way.
Like I got rents due like in a couple of days that we're recording this, and I'm just gonna make a way.
Yeah,
that's how I live life.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You pay for what you want to pay for, right?
No, I pay for what I can afford.
But yeah, I saw a lot of friends. I ended up. Florida's far.
Florida's far.
No, that's really far for me. It's like down and all the way across the country.
Wow, nigga.
That's a flight.
Wow.
A flight.
A flight. Okay.
But I'm trying to come to Florida sometime in 2019.
Well, let's do it together, Tunde, so we can make it like a reunion episode.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can plan it together.
Okay, we can do that. But yeah, that's my best moment of 2018. Traveling, see my friends. A lot of them were business trips. But yeah, that's me. My best moment or moments of 2018.
Best moment.
Lex always got to like cycle through. We just go through.
I know. I gotta think of stuff. So my
Instagram and figure out your best moments.
Yeah, but I don't even post on Instagram like that. Like I posted maybe like 20 times in a year or something like that.
I'm going to Instagram right now.
Yeah, I'm just not into Instagram that much. But the main things that I can think of was I did a lot of in the country traveling. So I got to do a lot of work trips, which was really fun. I was pretty much everywhere from just like New York, Chicago,
DC.
Yeah, DC, NC. So it's cool when I get to travel for work. I enjoy that. But also I would say moving. Me and G probably got a similar thing with that. I moved out of the hood in September finally.
Is that what you
No. Well, I realized so it wasn't the hood. It's still North Hollywood. But what I didn't realize because the space was nice. I had a 3-bedroom, and when I first moved to LA, it was like $17.50. So that's a great price. Straight neighborhood. Like I'm not complaining as far as like a first place when you come across the country to live. Because it's not like you can like really look like everywhere before you come. Right. But then I got there and we realized though that there was like a rehabilitation center across the street, which isn't terrible, except that the surroundings, like I didn't like people dropping me off at home. And I had like one person ever call me out like, oh, you must live in the hood. Cause I was like, oh, I'll Uber. Like knowing I had like $5, like I'll just Uber back. Cause on my street, it'd always be like hella dirty mattresses. Like I swear people have furniture they throw outside every other day. There was TVs on the street. It's like, why is everybody fucking throwing their trash on the street? So it just looked wild. And then every once in a while you see somebody like walking real crazy because they were going to like the rehabilitation center or whatever, which was like a halfway house or something. So it was just the surroundings were kind of weird. But moved like a couple miles away, right by the metro. I'm enjoying it. I just like having a cooler vibe. Right. So that's probably one of the biggest things. And then for anything else, I really would have to just go through, I don't know, my pictures and see what the heck I did.
Yeah, because you be high, so you don't remember what the fuck be going on.
Man, it's gotten worse too over time. I think I really enjoyed
before you moved to
LA. Not
what
frequently. No, not really. I didn't have anybody I was getting it from or anything like that. Here, I mean, I could go across the street to the store and just buy it. And
wait, you could buy weed at the store like that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we have stores.
I know it's legal. I know they sell it there, but like
they have stores.
Yeah.
Like,
they got
stores.
Like, oh, nigga, we sell weed here.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. So G, when you come, and G, when you come, I'll take you to the one that I like because they give you when it's your first time, you get some extra shit, and then I get a referral too. So like last time I went, I got maybe like 4 grams for $20 of a really good strain that I like. So just because I took a friend who didn't really want it, but I was like, you're gonna come with me in the store so we can scan. And yeah.
Just get on your app, see what you want.
I don't get on the app though. So if you go to the real legit ones, they be taxing and stuff too much. Like the same thing I just bought for $20. I had to get for like $60 at this other place. So I go to my like corner store joint.
Niggas got corner store weed.
On every state on the West Coast.
I'm Florida.
It's great.
I didn't know that's how y'all niggas was getting it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was legal, but like I figured it was like legal and they was just gonna like stop arresting niggas for smoking. Yeah. I didn't know.
Like yesterday, I was getting off the metro and I saw Chick-fil-A. I was like, ooh, I want to eat Chick-fil-A because I forgot there's the one owned by a Black woman downtown in LA. And I was like, you know what? Like the pothead in me was like, oh, I think I still have a joint in my purse. So I sat outside, smoked, and then I went to Chick-fil-A and got the food, and it was so good. So like that's just how I live right now. I'm just outside kicking it, chilling.
Wow. My mind is blown right now. You see my face? I'm like, wow, like this is.
You'll have to come and check out the stores.
Yeah, I might be able to actually do a little something as far as traveling this year. Maybe, possibly, hopefully, cross your fingers. Best moments of 2018. I'm not going to be lame and say therapy because I've been talking about therapy like every episode,
right?
Like half the day.
Like they know what people really care about.
Therapy, nigga, self-care, nigga, take care of yourself. I say moving. Like I finally moved into my own crib. That was a fucking journey. Like I had just came back off vacation and like I worked like 6 days straight and I moved in like a day and I had like everything unpacked and where it was supposed to be the same day that I moved. And I basically spent like the next 6 days after that getting everything for the apartment. Cause I ordered everything off Amazon because I was like, yo, I live on the second floor. So I was like, yo, I'm not finna like buy stuff and carry it upstairs, nigga. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. So I just loaded up the Amazon cart and just dropped that shit off on the doorstep, nigga.
Wow.
Shit was fire. Taking out all those boxes, not fire. Absolutely.
Oh, you actually moved with boxes? Ew. That's official.
No. I'm saying when I nigga, you got packed stuff in the box. What are you talking about? How else are you supposed to bring this shit?
I took straight up stuff out of my closet, put it in the car, put it in the other closet, and everything else I had basically in like trash bags and stuff. I was hood. I'm hood with my moving.
But
I need to grow up, honestly. Even with my traveling, I'm like, why do I have plastic bags and stuff? I need to just get like nice things.
I moved across state line, so that wasn't gonna work for me.
Nigga, boxes cost like $2, dog. Like you
yeah, I'm a trash bag mover.
I got on Amazon. I bought 20 boxes for like $12.
Wow.
Nah, son. I'd fucking
or you go to the grocery store after hours and just take them.
That's what I used to do, right? I used to do that shit. I used to just go behind, like, where you know, like at the grocery store, they cut all the boxes and shit. All the boxes, I bet. Yeah, I used to do that shit. And then I realized that, like, you can go to Lowe's and buy like 30 boxes for like $2. And then I was like, yo, I'm not doing this shit no more. Like, I had like, I
feel you on that, actually.
I got wardrobe boxes, nigga. I would just take the stuff from the closet, take the shit up in the box, and then take the box to wherever I was going, and then take the shit out of the wardrobe box and put the shit back in the closet. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is a really more efficient way to move. This is actually pretty.
You know what? Yeah, kudos to you, because I think about that a lot where, well, recently I thought about the fact that there's a lot of things. It's like, why do I still do this like this? I don't have to live like this anymore. So you're right. At some point you're like, okay, you could save a couple dollars, but it's like, it's not even worth the save. $2 to get some fresh ass boxes that don't already have like banana peels and shit in them. Like,
listen, it's worth the money to spend on the boxes, dog. Absolutely. Like I was definitely
maybe next time.
Next time. No, man. Yeah. It's just all right, man. Like I've been here for like it's been like a week. It's been all right.
You already set up and everything.
No, nigga, this shit is. I'll take you on a tour when the fucking podcast is over, nigga. This shit is already done.
Oh, can we go on a tour? I guess you don't want to take the users on a tour, huh?
Nah, not yet. I don't know them niggas like that.
Sorry, listener.
TV cribs, nigga. Hey, welcome to my house, nigga. Ain't that thing?
Show them where the address.
Show where niggas living, boy. Nah, like, but you know, it's different. Like, I feel like I was telling somebody the other day. I still feel like, you know how they like people go to jail and they get out of jail, but they still act like they're in jail because they've been in jail for so long. Like, that's how I feel when I live in my apartment. Like I've lived with people my entire life. Like I've never lived by myself. So like when I'm here by myself, like I still do like I live with other people's shit. Like I be trying not to make no noise. Yeah. Like I be going in the refrigerator and like trying to make food, but like trying not to make like a whole lot of mess because like I don't want nobody else to have to clean it up. And I'm like, oh nigga, nobody else.
Are you by yourself now?
All right, so damn nigga, why you blowing up the spot, bro? What's wrong with you? Wow, niggas, wow. Okay.
Right on the pocket.
Wow. This is why you don't tell black people anything.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, fuck. We're gonna move right on until the rest of 2018. Jesus Christ. Fuck. What is some of your not so good moments of 2018?
I think for me, it was moving from Portland to Seattle in June, and then not working for the first 2 months. Because when I moved, I was like, oh, I'll find a job when I get there, and I have enough savings to live off of. So I was cool, but it was just that sitting in the house every day and doing nothing. It's crazy, like how how in this country you're defined by what you do for a living. And it kind of sucks when like, you know, you sit in the house every day and everyone's like, oh, so what'd you do today? Oh yeah, you know, play a little PUBG, watch the Sports Center, look for jobs. Yeah, I think that was probably my worst moment. Moving and not having a job.
Golly.
Yeah, that's just trash. That's just big trash.
Job hunt is always sucky. For me, so a couple of quick scans about bad things. One was getting ghosted by somebody I was in a relationship with. I guess that should count.
You was in a relationship last year?
This year, yeah.
Wait,
what?
Yeah. In 2018?
Yeah.
You had a boyfriend in 2018?
I thought that was 2017. Yeah. Or is this a different
guy? We were technically in a relationship in 2018.
Oh, and he
wow! Do y'all even know me?
And he ghosted
you? Did we talk about this? Yeah, we didn't talk about this.
Nah.
Y'all, so y'all just gonna pull while I'm talking about it, y'all just gonna let me get triggered then and stuff, huh? I'm good though. Here's the thing: I processed it pretty quickly. So I mean, I talked about it frequently as far as like a thing to get used to and get over, as far as somebody just like rolling out on you.
I thought that was 2017, to be honest.
No,
wait a minute. Oh, nigga, hold on.
That was definitely last year.
Nigga,
I talked about issues and stuff before, maybe in 2017.
Right. I'm about to say you be super vague about the whole relationship thing in the first place. So don't be acting that we don't know.
No, don't act like we didn't have like at least a few relationships about breaking up, dating. Like that was me telling the stories.
How the fuck was you supposed to know that, nigga?
I didn't know it was current. I didn't know it's current. I thought you were just
living that shit right now. Niggas Lex is like giving us the play, but I gotta go back and listen to the episodes now. Like,
so I told y'all, we got together. So I was out of town for my birthday in February. When I came back, I was like, man, like I said something and it was like, all right, let's do it for real. February, March, by April. So March, we'd hung out in New Mexico somewhere, chilling. Because we used to always meet in different cities and hang out. And then in March, there was an earthquake. I got left on red while I was texting somebody that I was in an earthquake evacuating a building. And that's when in my head it kind of clicked that this is a wrap. I said maybe one other thing to them, didn't hear from them. And then a few weeks later, they posted up with somebody else and some other little stuff happened. And I just was like, oh, okay. Like they literally just disappeared and did their own little pop-up. And since then, over the summer, they tried to reach out to me like a couple of times, but I'm like, yo, if you know, I feel like you know you're wrong if like you never reached out to me, we never really talk, but then you try to tweet me like nothing happened. So I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. But I mean, since then, like a couple of things have happened. Like I've seen him once since then. We've talked maybe like a couple of times, but I mean, I ignored a text I got yesterday. So I just don't respect that person as a man of their word. I don't really talk to him.
You really just gave us like the whole time that everybody was over here sharing past experiences. You was over here giving like an actual live recount of your breakup that nobody knew that you were even in a relationship with. I
spent a lot of. So I spent a little bit of time where I was just like in that phase, like kind of angry, like going from angry, sad, like bouncing back through that. But I did a really good job of not being like a reach out or trying to like make something happen that wasn't happening. Like at this point, I've kind of given up because I've talked before about our issues or whatever. So it's the same thing. It's just now it's like, all right, this isn't like, I'm not dealing with somebody who doesn't fucking answer me when I'm texting them in a fucking earthquake. Like that's just stupid.
Right.
So yeah. So like over the summer, just processing that. I feel like one of the biggest things with 2018 for me was just being okay, being single. And, you know, like I really hung out with my girlfriends a lot more. I started hanging out with more women, focusing on work, stuff like that. So
I see that a lot on your, like
I made a lot more effort to hang out with like friends. So I ended up having like a good year on that front. Like, but that was one of the things that like threw my whole shit off. And so I had a lot of growth from that. Other than that,
start a new podcast?
Huh?
No, nigga, it's on worst moments.
Well, worst moments. Yeah, for worst moments.
I thought you were on best moments. Sorry.
No. Her breakup won't be in the best moments category. What's wrong with you?
Maybe in hindsight or something.
It's less we're talking about.
Right. I have another story about when I got this weed from this hobo, but I don't want to tell that because now it's gonna look like I'm really a pothead because of what we already talked about earlier. So I'm gonna skip that. Yeah, I definitely. Huh?
Was it laced?
No. All right. So now I got to tell the story. So I was walking because this is when I lived in the hood. So I was walking to Popeyes, and there was this guy posted right out fucking front of my building, like, "Dog, you just gotta sit out here with your." He had his shopping cart, his dog, and he was pretty homeless. And I was like, "Hey, yo, man, I'm about to go to Popeyes. You want something?" And he was like, I was like some. No, what did he say? He said a drink. I was like, "You don't want no chicken or nothing?" He said, "All right, yeah, give me some strips and some sauce or whatever." Cool. I was like, "Well, I'm walking, so it might be a minute." He's like, "Yeah, that's cool." He's like, I got some weed if you want some weed for it. And I was like, "All right, bet." No, I don't know why I said that. Like, I don't know why I said that. So
Yeah, this story already don't make no sense.
I must have been at a low point in my life. I got some shrimp and I got his tenders, came back, was like, "Here you go, bro, here's your tenders." And he's like, "All right." This man pulls out, and you have to watch the video, I guess, for this. He pulls out a jar like this big, full of weed. And I'm like, "Oh, so is this like what you do to like get by or whatever?" He's like, "Well, I don't know." Then I really knew something was wrong because he was like, "You got something to put it in?" I was like, "Oh man, I don't have nothing on me." He pulled out some saran wrap and he put like this much in a saran thing. Like it was this much of a ball. And I was like, "Oh nah, this is gonna be terrible." But I was like, "But I got all this," and I call it bum weed is the story. But I took this bum weed and then I called my friend like, "Nah, yo, you gotta try this with me because I can't do this by myself." He was like, "I don't know." Like it didn't smell like anything. It was terrible. But essentially we smoked a little bit of it and it was like smoking sticks, and we were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna tell nobody this." And now I've told the podcast.
I'm about to say,
But
you
it
told
was
everybody.
bad. It was a low point. It was a lot too. I felt it's just like if somebody's gonna give you something, it's like, man, it's so much like you want to take it, but sometimes shit's not worth it. And it was bad. It was terrible. Outside of that, I had like a low point with one client who finally like they switched directors, and so the new one actually wanted to work. The other people didn't really care about anything going on, and so over time, with our partnership of working, I'd kind of gotten slack on stuff because when I sent them stuff, they never looked at it. They didn't care what was going on. Got a new director. All of a sudden, she's like questioning me on everything. So it was kind of like, oh shit, I gotta actually really go in on what I'm supposed to be doing. So that kind of like jogged me in place a little bit with work, and that was kind of like a punch in the face about keeping my shit together. But outside of that, I don't know. It wasn't a bad year. It just wasn't super eventful. It was like a valley year to where
I
I
was
feel
just
like
asking if you had a bad moment. It's cool. I didn't ask if you had a terrible 2018. I'm just, what were some of your terrible moments and shit?
Yeah, it was just blah. The whole thing was blah. But that's my worst moments, I guess.
Oh. Yeah, I had a couple of not so good moments myself. I had some shit go down at my job that eventually.
Your old one?
No, the one that I'm currently working at. I've actually been there for a year now, so like I can tell the story now. But before, it was
you graduated. Did you say that as your best moment?
No, because it wasn't my best moment. The best moment was that I moved. Nigga. Okay. Graduation was like, that's a foregone conclusion, nigga. That was gonna happen regardless.
That's real.
It's also shit I actually accomplished in life, like moving.
That's real.
So like some shit happened with my job and I ended up on this like performance improvement plan. But like the whole thing that had like I got my job and I didn't know how to do my job when I got it. And the person who hired me was aware of that, but she didn't like mention that shit to anybody else. So like people were expecting me to have like a level of proficiency at my job that I didn't have. So the expectations and reality, weren't matching up. So, we had to have, there's some very uncomfortable conversations with work. And it made me like reevaluate like what I was doing at my job. And then I was like looking at like my actual job history, like my actual like places that I've worked and how did I no longer work at those places. And I feel like I've been fired from like 50% of the jobs that I've worked in my life that I can remember. And I was like, wow, nigga, like it's not good. Like I didn't get fired. It wasn't like always like workplace performance sort of situations. It was like just very strange. Like I'm like
not built for that.
No, I'm like a magnet for like strange situations that happen at work. Right. Like I used to work as a counselor at like a mental health facility for children, not children, but like teenagers or whatever. And like one time I saw one of the kids like outside, but like I wasn't like physically at work yet. Like I wasn't like at work. I hadn't clocked in or anything. I just saw the kid outside.
He said, "Not my problem."
There was some real there's some real weird rules about like talking to the kids outside of your, you know what I'm saying? Like outside, like you're not supposed to acknowledge your clients outside of the thing or whatever. So like I saw him and then I asked him what he was doing. He was like, he's talking to his cousin or some shit like that. And then I ended up in a work meeting about that incident. And they were like, well, we don't think you're fit. They're like, we don't think you're fit for the job because you should have known that he wasn't talking to his cousin and that he's a liar. And I'm like, nigga, I wasn't even at work yet. Like, I'm not even supposed to be talking to this nigga. Like, I don't understand, you know. So like, I end up in like a lot of strange situations like that. This particular time, it was a workplace thing. It was a workplace performance situation. I'd never been in a situation like that before. So I was like it was like a lot of self-doubt. It was like, am I actually good at this thing? Like, am I not good at this thing? Like, is this something I really want to do? Like, what does this mean if this doesn't work out? Like, it's just a lot of like gut check moments about kind of like my performance and kind of like how I viewed the job or whatever. And it wasn't I was taking it for granted. I just felt like I had felt like people told me it was going to go down one way, like there's going to be all this training and stuff like that, and then like none of that shit had actually happened. So like I just kind of like got left on an island, and they were expecting me to pick up the slack, and I was expecting them to pick up the slack, and then you know, niggas just wasn't picking up anything. So that's a real tough like 3 months. It was like real bad. Like I used to go to work every day wondering if I was actually going to have a job anymore. So that shit was awful. In the midst of all that, my ex-girlfriend almost died. And when I say almost died, I mean like
that was that year?
Yeah, that was last
that was like
August.
2 years ago. Oh wow.
Nigga, that was last August.
A few months ago.
So she was in I don't even know how to like tell this whole story without it being like super long, but like she basically had a liver issue. And that is probably like the simplest way that I can tell that, because we to this day don't really know what happened. Like her liver essentially stopped working. And you know, her health had kind of deteriorated over this from like May. Like she's always like when she first got it, like initially diagnosed with this problem like 5 or 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like she'd go through like these phases, like she'd be okay, that she wouldn't be okay, that she kind of be okay, that she wouldn't be okay. And then she'd like doing really, really good. And then she like hit a point and it's kind of like go like down, down, down. But it was always like up and down. Nothing that was like, it was life threatening like when it first started. But after she got out of that the first time, like a few years ago, it was just kind of like up and down, but nothing that was really like, okay, like this is like really a problem. So like maybe like in May, she started trending downward, and like she was like complaining about being tired and stuff, and she gets sick. And it was like, okay, like, you know, we're just going through like our up down phase or whatever. But like she just kept going downward. So like one day she called me, she's like, you know, I gotta go to the hospital. And then she was in the hospital for like a week. And then, you know, she came back from the hospital and she got to go back to the hospital again. And then it was like one of these times that she called. And the reason why, and I don't mean to sound vague about these dates and the way that I'm explaining it, but like, I just, like all this stuff happens, like all this stuff happens so quickly, like you don't remember anything after it happens. It's just like one long blur. And this is going on over the entire summer. So I think in like the beginning, like late July, early August, she ended up going to the hospital, and she was there for like a month. And while she was in the hospital, like the doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with her liver. They're like, all this stuff that we're doing to treat it, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. And like, this is how you figure out, like, this is how I learned like how important the liver is to your body. Like the liver filters the waste out of your system. When the liver cannot filter the waste out of your system, your body suffers. It got so bad.
Like if you never take the trash out.
Right. It had gotten so bad at one point, like it started affecting her brain. Like she was having memory problems. She couldn't recognize anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like if she was staring at me in the face, she didn't know who I was, didn't know who her parents were and stuff like that or whatever.
Oh my gosh, like the Notebook.
She actually ended up in a medically induced coma. And we thought that she was going to die. And the doctors at the hospital had a meeting, and they were like, we have to get her a new liver. So they put her on the transplant list. She's at the top of the transplant list. I think they put her on the transplant list on maybe like Saturday or Sunday. And they had gotten like offers for livers before, because you know, like somebody has to die for you to get a liver. Right? Like that's a thing. Like niggas don't just take livers out of other people and then, you know, they just go on about their business or whatever. So they passed on like a few livers. You know, my ex-girlfriend is like, she's small. She's a small person of small stature. She'll tell you that she's 5'3", but I tell her that she's 5'1.5" to, you know, keep things on an even keel. So they need somebody to fit her size or whatever. And she actually happened to get one like that. I think maybe that Monday morning or that Tuesday.
Oh, that's excellent.
So they did the surgery. They put the new liver in. You know, she was able to get a liver transplant or whatever. And you know, it's kind of been like a battle for her. I'm actually thinking about getting her to come on the podcast and talk about it, because she wants to be like an advocate for Black people donating their organs. And she'll be able to better explain that than I would. But yeah, like she knows she's doing better now. You know, she has to be on like anti-rejection medications for like, because it's like a foreign object in your body. So she's do that for the rest of her life and stuff. You know, like, and it's still, you know, it's not perfect. It's not like they give you a transplant and they like you're super all better and like nothing. You know, there's like a whole fucking process that goes with that or whatever. And like, you know, I've been like supporting her and being there for her and stuff like that or whatever. And it's just like, I've never had anybody really close to me die before. And like, when I thought that she was gonna die, like, I was a fucking mess, man. Like a fucking emotional wreck. Like, I'm talking to her parents and I'm like, you know, what are the doctors saying today? You know, doctor's saying this, you know, we're not sure, you know, blah, blah, whatever. Like, I went to see her in the hospital. She's like, there's like all these tubes in her and stuff like that. Like, she's on all these different machines. And it's just like, that should look like the end, dog. Like, this just making my chest tight.
I wanted to ask you about that because with that being an ex, and I know everything's not like a Twitter feed, how people are real cut and dry, like fuck my ex or whatever. But how do you maintain being a major, I guess, still piece of support system for an ex? But then, and even going through this, were you ever tempted to be like, oh man, like maybe this really was the person for me? Like, how did that all work out?
I mean, we were together for 4.5 years, right? Like, we did a lot of life together at some very, very pivotal moments in both of our like developments as adults, right? So like, she's my ex-girlfriend, but like the love didn't go anywhere. Like, we broke up, but like, just because we broke up doesn't mean that I don't love her anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that I don't care about, you know, what happens to her and stuff like that, especially with her health, because that was something that we dealt with while we were in our relationship. So it wasn't there. I don't even really know how to explain it, but it's just like, she's sick. Like, there's things going on with her, and you know, we're still close. So it's like, who cares if she's an ex? Like, that shit don't mean nothing. Like, what does that even mean? Oh, she's my ex-girlfriend. Like, that doesn't mean anything. It just means the only thing her being an ex-girlfriend means is that we're not together anymore. That's it. Like, that doesn't take away the 4.5 years that we spent together. It doesn't take away the love that we had for each other or have for each other. It doesn't take away any of that shit. It's just we're not together anymore. So like, you watch it. So it's basically the equivalent of watching somebody you love die or come close to death. It's basically the same exact thing. The nature of that relationship being an ex or whatever, shit doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how that kind of situation went down. You know, and like, the one thing that, you know, because I told her that I was going to talk about this, and she said that she wanted to make, you know, that she wanted me to make sure that I mentioned this, was like, she was able to get a liver because somebody was donated their organs. You know, like I think it's on like your driver's license, like you can sign to be an organ donor and stuff like that. And she was like, yo, please talk to people, like talk about it on your podcast about like people being organ donors. And like, I signed my card on the driver's license to be an organ donor. And like, but I don't never really had like a real like solid concept of what that meant to donate an organ to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, the liver that she got came from somebody. I think that person donated, like, they took like the person's eyes, like their liver and like some other stuff or whatever. Like, that person was able to donate their organs and help like 3 or 4 other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like a huge thing. And it's just like, and even she was telling, Mike was telling me the other day, she was telling me about like how like doctors like want Black people to become organ donors because it's like, you know, like the cross-racial thing. So it's like, you know, when you have organs from Black people, they probably work better in other Black people. And they got like different kind of tests that they trying to run to kind of figure out, you know, like tissue matches and stuff like that. I'm sure Tunde would probably have like a better.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Crazy thing is, like, well, personally, I think that everyone should be an organ donor, because when you die, are you really going to use your eyes or your liver or your heart? You're not. Like, it might as well go to, you know, someone who can use it. And not only should, you know, people or Black people be organ donors, they should also be bone marrow donors as well. And a lot of people don't
bone marrow donor.
Yeah, me too. I'm on the registries. Like, a lot of people don't do it because if you are a match with someone, it's a very painful process, but it may be painful, but it's not going to kill you. And you can help save, you know, someone's life. So, I think I've always been an organ donor since I was able to drive when I was 16 or 17.
Right.
So
if you're an organ donor, screenshot the episode and tell us.
There's like this urban myth that, oh, if you're an organ donor and you're close to death, doctors won't save you because they'll let you die and take all your organs. And that's the furthest thing.
It's not like they get paid a commission for like taking.
Yeah, like it's not. I mean,
that's not how that works.
Yeah, like as far as like organ donor, like you have to harvest the organ and shit. Like that's niggas don't just. You can't just pull an organ out of somebody's body and be like, nigga, we're just gonna sell this to the highest bidder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, not on the black market.
That goes with that or whatever. So like that was like the lowest moment. That was like probably like the first or second lowest moment of 2018 was like somebody that was that close to me, who was like such a big part of my life, was like about to die. And like I was talking about that shit in therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a fucked up. It was a fucked up.
The crazy thing is, I think I'm guilty of this too, and I try to remind myself periodically. When you're healthy, you take good health for granted, and like simple things like being able to breathe correctly.
Man, a little toothache.
Yeah,
that shit would take you out.
And or like just being able to walk around, climb stairs, and like we take those things for granted, and it's not until you're not able to do those things that you're like, damn, like I really, really took that for granted. So I think, you know, I know we'll talk about this later, but one of my things is, you know, being grateful going forward, being grateful for the things that I have that other people will like kill for. Yeah.
That sounds like a good goal resolution.
All right. Ooh, all right. Enough of the morbid stuff, because that was pretty morbid, but you know, 2018 was, you know, had good parts and bad parts. So let's try to lighten up a little bit. What's one thing that you started in 2018, or one thing that you can think of that you started that you want to take into 2019? Or one thing that, whatever that one thing is, one thing that you did, one thing that you started, one thing that you thought, like whatever, like the thing that you want to take from 2018 to 2019.
Tunde.
Okay. I know. All right. So I know I talk about this a lot.
Running.
It's about running. Yeah, it's about running. It's about running. But so you listen to the podcast, you know I run a lot. And even though I run a lot, I've run, I think, 16 half marathons. And I've always said I'll never do a full marathon because it's boring. And why would I put myself through that torture? So this year I said I was only going to do one full marathon, and then I'm going to stop doing it. I'm never going to do another one again because the training is super intense for it. So I ran my first full marathon. I think it's the first podcast that we've had, or second, since I ran it. And it was hard, really hard, but I did it. And now my goal is to do at least one a year. So next year, I signed up for the Chicago Marathon. 2019, yeah. I signed up for the Chicago Marathon in October. So I wasn't able to get the lottery, but, you know, blessings in disguise. If you don't get the lottery, into the lottery, you can sign up for a fundraiser through a list of organizations. So I didn't get it. So I was looking through the organizations, and one that I found was Autism Speaks. So the reason why I picked,
yeah, I saw you talking about this.
Yep. So the reason why I picked that is because my girlfriend Callie, her older brother lives with autism, and he's like an amazing person. Like people who live with autism, people think, oh, they're developmentally delayed, and they think all these things about them. But he like what he lacks in some areas, he's gifted in so many other areas. So like he's an amazing singer, artist. He's really funny. So in his honor, I'm going to like I'm going to raise the money for Autism Speaks. So for y'all listening, I'm running the Chicago Marathon in October, and I need to raise $1,700. So there's a link in my bio on Instagram, and I post the links like all over Facebook and Twitter and stuff. So that's one thing I'm going to continue doing. I started last year, and I'm going to continue doing, until I can no longer run one marathon a year.
Cool.
Oh, Lex?
One thing that I started was collaborating a lot more. So I brought in more resources that helped me to take on bigger projects. A lot of creative studio projects, creating videos. Right now, I just proposed a documentary that I want to go down to Jamaica and film with reggae artists. So I'm really moving more into developing content, which I really like, and using a team to get video edit, do all that cool stuff. So doing more of that, more creative stuff.
That's good. Look at you. Look at y'all niggas doing super important stuff that's like for the betterment of like other people. Meanwhile, I am going to so I am a traditionally closed off person. I have a very small circle of friends, very small circle of associates. I just have a small circle of people in general.
I would agree.
And you said you would agree?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So toward the end of 2018, I said that, I'm going to start trying to I'm going to try to open myself up more to people, into experiences, and to, being like, taking like a little bit more risk. Like, I don't know if this was actually before the podcast or no, this was actually at the beginning of the podcast where y'all was talking about, oh, nigga, I was traveling and I know how I'm going to pay my rent, but, it got to go make a way. And it's like, yo, like I would never, I won't go down the street if I feel like it would affect me being able to pay my rent. You know what I'm saying? But I've lived like a really safe life, in terms of risk taking. And I don't, like I said, I don't expand my circle very often for people. I want to say I don't make friends easily. I think I can make friends easily. I just don't talk to people. So like, I don't make friends. So I said that, like towards the end of 2018, like I started making like a more conscious effort to like go hang out with people when like people
new friends in Florida.
Whoa. I don't know about new friends. One step at a time, nigga. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Okay. Let me
be careful. Beware of the Florida man.
But no, like just like when people say that they're gonna go out to do stuff, like I'll go. Or if somebody's like, oh, we need somebody's house to go to do like a get together or whatever, like I will offer up, my living space, even though I don't like niggas in my house. I will make an effort to, be more open and be more inviting of other people and stuff. So that's the one thing that I started doing in 2018. I'm taking in 2019. And I don't really have a reason for why. I'm just a closed off person, I think, in general. Like it's not like some shit that happened in my childhood. It's not like some shit that happened when I just don't, like my family is like family. Like we rely on each other. So like it's really hard for niggas to break the ranks of that. And like once I have really, really good friends, like friends that I've known for like years and years and years and years and years. So it's like for me, it's really hard. Like it's really hard for me to like conceptualize like making new friends that are like the friends that I already have. It's like I usually don't bother. And I don't know if that's clear. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but I don't know if that's the wrong way to go about it either. You know what I'm saying? Like my two best friends that I've known for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've known y'all niggas for like 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like
2019 marks 10 years on Twitter, a decade in this bitch.
Oh, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't. I haven't always been really good about bringing people into my circle, and I've started opening myself up more for different experiences. Like I went to the spring game with the homies, which is like this doesn't sound like a big thing because I've known these niggas since we all went to college together, but it's like I like got in the car and like drove with these niggas and we like sang songs
with no way out.
Yeah, you know, like I don't like being trapped. I don't like being trapped.
Yeah.
So like going to the spring game was like a really cool thing or whatever like that. And then like a FSU group in Tampa. I don't know what the fuck that was outside. Like an FSU group in Tampa, like people that they get together and they do stuff, and like I'm gonna start doing stuff with them too. That. So
that helps broaden things though, because same with me. And like the more I started hanging out with new people though, I realized that I was making better friends for me, because unlike you, I don't really have like friends that, oh my gosh, we've been best friends for like 20 years necessarily. I've always made kind of conditional friends, like, okay, we just in the same apartment complex, or you know, we was roommates in college, so like, yeah, of course we're friends, but are they people I really like talk to about everything? No. Are they people who get my life and how I live? Not really. So I think as I come more into myself, the people I am meeting now that I'm more likely to call friends now are almost like better friends, even though I've known them less time than a lot of people I've known.
Yeah, and I'm even super cautious about how I even use the word friend when I even talk to people.
I do that too, though. That's important, man.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody doesn't have the power.
Niggas not your friends. Yeah.
Right. Well, that and like I feel like when you call somebody your friend, like the word means a little bit more to me than it might mean to some other people. For me, I feel like there's like some responsibilities that go with me calling you a friend and would go for the same if you were calling me your friend. So like if you're not living up to those responsibilities, then I mean, we're not friends like that. And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, like you have to use a different word to describe our relationship, because this ain't friendship. This is just, you know,
that's the homie.
Right. That's the homie, niggas hanging out at a convenience store, you know, because we share like one or two things in common or whatever like that. But like, right. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to go out of your way to try to visit a nigga or nothing like that. Or if a nigga's sick, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that or whatever. So when I think of friendship, like I just think of like there's like a very specific sort of thing that goes with somebody being a friend that isn't held to that that, you know, a homeboy or an associate or a coworker or whatever isn't held to that same standard.
I agree.
Word. Friends. How many of us have them?
I knew that was coming.
Sorry. I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go, dog. I couldn't let the opportunity pass by. All right. So let's wrap this all up with, of course, 2019 resolutions, nigga. Because that's, you know, that's what everybody does. We make resolutions. Well, and then since we're going to record our resolutions, we can actually check in at the end of 2019.
Oh man,
that's trash. I know. So
accountability.
Yeah.
I know, no accountability, nigga.
I think for me, my resolutions are pretty simple.
You want to give me all of them either. You just pick like one that you feel like you're actually going to be able to do. Like don't set yourself up for
to live an overall healthier life. I think I have the
running part,
exercise, running, basketball, lifting part, but I have a trash diet. Like it's so trash. If I didn't have the metabolism I have, I would probably weigh 100 pounds more easy. So when I was home, I got a really good website for like West African Nigerian food. And I ate so much of my mom's cooking when I was home, and I missed it so much because the last time I was home before this past Christmas was 2017. So I'm going to try to cook more and cook more healthier foods this year.
Good.
And that leads to me saving money too.
Yes, it does. Cook and save. She cooks and she saves.
One thing I want to focus on this year is money management. And by that, I mean, I was thinking about it and I'm like 2
days.
I'm like, I don't even know where my money goes every month. You know, like I feel like I don't be having them, but yet I be spending it. Sometimes I don't even know how much I'm making. Like I just log in my stuffs and invoices and everything. And I'm like, Lex, you should know these numbers. I should know what I owe to different places. I don't even know when my bills are due. Like I tend to just wait till shit get cut off, or I wait till people call me and then I'm like, oh, okay. So I just need to be.
Fuck.
Yeah, I need to be more responsible.
Do you fuck with Mint? I know a lot of people hate it because
I'm one of those people too. Like I'll try a different app, but it doesn't like nothing can help me if I don't want the help. Like I can use an app for a second just because it's fun, and then I'm not gonna be into it.
Right? Yeah, you're not gonna really use the shit the way you need to use.
Like, but I really just wrote down on a post note the other day, like, all right, look at how much is coming out every month, like all these little things that just automatically come out every whenever. Like, what does that look like? What does it look like? What I owe in all these different places? How can I set up a process to pay stuff back? And then how much is coming in, and what do I need to do to make sure those numbers actually even up? Right. So I really want to get that together, or at least be responsible about it.
Good. I was gonna say something about fitness, but Tunde already he took the health angle.
You're gonna look good if you're getting any more fit.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
You be looking good now with the your arms and everything. I could tell like you be working out, but I don't know what else you're trying to do.
Well, I need to, like Tunde said, my diet's pretty trash, so I need to get that shit together. I want to write more, and not just like for like bylines and stuff like that or whatever. I think I want to get in like content market writing or content marketing writing, like B2B, B2C writing and stuff like that or whatever. Because there's like a gang of money to be made doing that shit. And I could always use some extra bread. So I think that's one of the things that I want to branch out. Like I feel like for the last couple of years, like I've kind of been writing like on and off for like, I got placed in Vibe earlier this year, which was really dope. I got a few articles on Revolt TV, which is like really dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I write, here and there for, I got in DJ Booth, which is like really dope too. So like I have like these bylines, like these publications or whatever. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I completely fuck with that. But like these companies that have these marketing companies and stuff that like there's, like B2B is business to business, is business to consumer. Like there's like a big ass market for writing,
because nobody wants to write their own stuff, and then people for some reason suck at writing things like regular people all of a sudden when it comes to business.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what it is like. So like I don't know what the I would say the mismatch. I don't know why these two things keep missing each other. But yeah, I want to get into that. Like I know people that's like caking, like they was doing content marketing for like Nike and shit because people don't want to write. So I definitely want to build up that. Like I feel like the last couple of years, like I've just kind of been like I said, that's what I was saying before. Like I've been writing in all these different places, but like I've been balancing school and like trying to find a job, and then like balancing school and work, and like this is like the first year, maybe that like I've only had to go to work and like not have to do anything else. Like I'm not going to work and preparing to go to school. I'm not going to work and going to school. I'm not working for the summer and then going back to school in the fall. I'm
not excuse to not do something else that you like.
Yeah. But not necessarily not an excuse, but I'm just saying like usually for like the last, I don't know, maybe like 6, 7, 8, however many years, like I'm always in between some shit. Like I'm always like, I'm always on my way to the next thing or in the thing and trying to prep myself to get out. Like I'm either preparing to go to law school and I'm doing that and all my focus is there. I'm either in law school and all my focus is there. I graduated, but I'm trying to find a job, so all my focus is there. Or I graduated and I got a job, but it don't pay enough, so I gotta get another job and another job. And now I'm working 3 jobs and
always in survival mode.
Right. I'm always in survival mode. I'm always juggling like all these different things at the same time. This is the first time, and I honestly, it really might be ever that like the only thing that I have to do is go to work. That's it. I can go to work, come home, and I don't have to do nothing else with my life. Like if I want to write, I can write. If I don't want to write, I don't have to write. If I want to play video games, like as long as I go to work, everything else is fine. This is like the first opportunity that I've had. Like I've definitely been like enjoying it, but I'm like thinking about, like what is, kind of like what I want to do and, what's my interest. Like I'm getting back into reading. Like I started a reading accountability group. We read one fiction book and one nonfiction book a month. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not reading the same books, not a book club. We just, hey, did you read the thing that you said that you're going to read this month? Okay, cool. What's the next thing that you're going to read? You know what I'm saying? Just getting back into like living like what I call like a regular ordinary life where it's like, I just go and I come home and do my hobbies and shit. So I definitely I want to read more and then I want to see what's up with this B2B, B2C marketing stuff. And that's
more tattoos for everybody.
Yes, I would like to get a tattoo this year.
I just got one 2 weeks ago.
Of course you did.
I got 2 more that I'm about to get.
Oh, fuck y'all, man. I'm gonna get one this year. God damn it.
Oh, you
I say
have
that
any?
every year. I don't have any. I say that every year. Every year I say
on your chest right here.
Get one on my chest.
Just don't get blessed or loyal.
Get the jailhouse joint. That's like all the way.
Nah.
Get the Jamaican seal.
That shit gonna be like unforgivable.
Oh shit.
That shit you big as fuck.
Unforgivable though. That's real.
Misunderstood.
Bye.
Real fucking ridiculous. That's real ridiculous. Nah, this might be every year I say I'm gonna get a tattoo, but at the end of every year I say I'm gonna get a tattoo for my birthday, but every year around my birthday I'm broke. So
no, that's right.
This year will be the year that I get a tattoo for my birthday.
Oh, birthday is a good time to do it, huh?
Yeah, I'll be 34 this year.
Huh. Oof. Yeah, me too.
Oof.
Too easy.
Indeed. All right, nigga. Thank y'all everybody for joining us for the newest episode.
And we're gonna get our shit together for y'all this year.
We are. We're so sorry.
We gonna say that every year.
No, but dead ass though. Like we really didn't intend to go the entire month without releasing an episode. Like we haven't even been tweeting on the account or nothing. Like niggas was just really on vacation. Just happens
with us. We really just get in the burnout mode. But you know what? Yeah. We did with this last season, like we did just make the new site in 2018. So shout out to that. So like we did upgrade in some places for y'all. We got consistent. We got on Spotify this year. So shout out to the podcast 2018.
We got our first official.
We got sponsored last year too, right?
Yeah, we got our first sponsor.
Got a little change.
Yeah, we got to keep turning up. We got. I know we were trying to think about merch and stuff for last year. We're gonna hit up Beetlejuice Q. We gotta get that together for this year.
Oh
baby steps.
To make us some shit.
Oh man. Look, I need y'all. If we get these shirts up, I need y'all to buy them now.
And also 5 stars, please, so that we can keep getting these sponsorships.
Yeah, and listen.
Content, man. Bring y'all better content. But
yeah, so shout out to y'all. 2019. We're gonna make it great.
All right, that's it. Season 5, episode 14. Talk to y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.